Hey! Hey! Okay. Oh my God. So Big Brother can get angry and go mute. Yo! See here, ladies and gentlemen, listen. I do not enjoy being a harbinger of bad news. But you see, when it comes to this Big Brother Naija show, yeah? If there's anything I can beat my chest upon, it's the fact that 99.9% of the time when I make a prediction, it definitely comes to pass. When I issue a warning to production that this thing people are doing, this thing people are doing, it's going to backfire. This is what will happen. It's going to have a ripple effect. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been in this community long enough, yeah, trust me, you will know that what I'm saying is 100% facts. Look at what happened last night during the wager presentation. Look at what happened with Ricky and Tram's defiance, not to the housemates now, but to Big Brother himself. Look at how mad Big Brother was. And then look at what happened afterwards. I want to tell me that Glory Elijah is not a prophet. Not of doom, oh. Not of doom. But do you want to really tell me that I did not predict that this was going to happen? Huh? Oh my days. See ya, frankly speaking, last night was bliss for me. I enjoyed hearing the tone of Big Brother, knowing that he was actually really mad, that he felt belittled, that he felt disrespected. It sweet me, gone. Like, ladies and gentlemen, you don't even understand the feeling. Like, I was glad it happened. Because I had been saying this from the start of the season when production's favorite started acting mad and moving mad in that house. I kept on saying it. That when you allowed this one particular housemate to continually break rules over and over and over and over again, and her fellow housemates are watching, they are all taking a cue from her. They are taking lessons from her. Because what's going to happen next is the whole house will begin to revolt. One way or the other, directly or indirectly, the whole house will begin to do whatever and however way they please. Because they know that the Big Brother of this season does not have a spine. Because they know that the Biggie of this season does not have balls. Because they know that the Biggie of this season will swallow any bullshit all for a fucking show. And ladies and gentlemen, what's happening right now? All that I said. All that you said as well, because a lot of you also saw what I was saying. See ya, last night, I was sipping my glass, my wine. I wasn't sipping my glass, but I was sipping my wine. And I was enjoying the show. I was enjoying the madness. Because it was long overdue. I knew that it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. And when it did happen, come on. I was glad it did. And as a matter of fact, I want more to happen. Yeah. And in case you're all wondering what I'm talking about, let me just stop, basking in my own glory. Let me tell you the gist, ladies and gentlemen. See, yesterday was the wager presentation. Yeah. I'd done a video earlier yesterday where I gave you details about how Ricky was acting like a saboteur, how he was stressing out the rest of the housemates, especially the head of house, how he was being rude and, rebellious. I'd given you all the details about that. And then, just like he had done last week, where he threatened at the last minute to abandon his team's project and not participate in the presentation during the wager presentation itself, he had done the same thing again this week. This time around, coming up with very flimsy, useless, stinking, rubbish excuses. And before I even continue, for those fans of Ricky that come and attack me from time to time, like, you people are so insignificant in the grand scheme of things, you have no idea. You really do not have any idea. And it's just very unfortunate that you all do not have the brains to think. You don't have the brains enough to think. But anyways, I'll come back to all of you. I will come back to all of you on Saturday. Don't worry. I'll come back to you. Now, as I was saying, Ricky had done the same thing this week, had frustrated the efforts of the script writers had frustrated the effort of everybody. Always talking about, I don't want this role, I want that role. Oh, they changed the story. Why would they change the story? I don't want them to change the story. Why didn't they come and consult me? Oh, they should have come to me to seek my expertise. This is someone who is always bragging about being a professional director, a professional script writer, a professional storyteller. But nigga, every time there is a task, I mean, this is the 5th week now. Every time there's a task, Ricky is nowhere to be found asserting his authority or professionalism or expertise. He doesn't do that. You see him looking as if he's trying to make an attempt to stand out, but then at the end of it all, his laziness creeps in because that guy is lazy. There's nothing anybody will tell me. Every time I tell you all that Ricky is lazy, the fans will come and say, leave him away. He's not lazy. He is damn lazy. He carries himself like a slot in that house. S-L-O-T-H, a slot. If you do not know what a slot is, kindly use Google. But yes, he carries himself like a slot in that house. A lot of people will say that, oh, that is Ricky's strategy. That's a blatant lie. I know a strategy when I see one. That is not strategy. That guy is damn lazy. And he has said it time and time again that he doesn't want to do anything in that house. The only thing he wants to do is to flirt with the girls. But guess what? They keep rejecting him because they don't like him that much. So for someone who is always claiming that, oh, I am a professional in this, dude, why don't you take the bull by the horns? And then you go on to talk about, oh, they should have come to me to seek my expertise. Oh, guy, you've not proven yourself. So what is it that they are coming to come and beg you for? For thin air? For dry ice? For what exactly? So all of those things I just mentioned, that was Ricky's bone of contention with the housemates, with the script writers. Saying that, they changed the story. Why did they change the story? They gave me... And so, he had first of all made a display the previous night when they were rehearsing. Of course, they gave him his role and the guy decided he doesn't want to do it anymore and he went to sleep. Fast forward to yesterday. I saw him doing attitude all around the house, carried the script, looked at it and just flung it away. And I knew that, okay, this guy has stuff off his sleeves. Same thing for TRAM. When they all got to the arena, Ricky and TRAM, they sat. First of all, they weren't even supposed to sit on the bench, right? But yeah, whilst the housemates, they sat in their various groups as they had planned to do on the floor. Ricky and TRAM, they sat behind the bench, signifying that they are not a part of the rest of the house. And so, when Big Brother sounded the buzzer for them to, get on with their presentation, Ricky and TRAM, they sat down. They did not want to join. And then Yusuf was going to go and try to cajole them, begging them. And then there was also Sultex that was trying to, beg them. And then he was trying to drag Ricky and down with his neck like a gamma lizard. He was like, leave me alone. I don't want to, leave this guy alone. Just leave him alone. And I love the fact that some of the housemates, they shouted, like they literally scolded Sultex. Like, dude, leave that guy alone. We don't need him. If he doesn't want to come, let him not come. Leave him alone. And then they left Ricky. Now went back. Now went to go and sit down. They were not supposed to sit on that bench, him and TRAM, but they did it. They did it anyways. Why? Because of course, it's more like adding to the breaking of rules so that they will lose the wager. And ladies and gentlemen, guess what? The housemates performed their show. It wasn't great. It wasn't the best performance. It wasn't the best that they have ever done, right? However, I was satisfied with their performance. Why? Because there was no inclination that Ricky and TRAM were not on that stage. I did not miss their absence. As a matter of fact, it was perfection. The fact that the housemates went ahead with their performance and I personally did not even notice that TRAM and Ricky were not there. That was how insignificant they were, but I just did not realize it. And At the end of the presentation, obviously Big Brother was mad. He was mad. He was angry. And ladies and gentlemen, you see that anger. You see that anger. That was the highlight of the whole performance for me. For me, that was Big Brother performing for me personally. And I was enjoying it. I was reveling in it. Because for me, I said, yes, it was long overdue. I was enjoying it. I said, yes, that is the show that I came to come and watch with this in this arena tonight. Because what the housemates did, as I said, it was not up to par, but I was satisfied that we were able to go ahead with the performance without those two people. But you see Big Brother's anger? Ladies and gentlemen, that was the wager task that I came to watch. And I wasn't disappointed. I was entertained. Because why was he angry? Why was he upset? Oh, let me guess. The disrespect, the disregard for his rules, for his instructions. Because obviously he had actually stated categorically on the brief, on the wager brief, that housemates will be scored, aside every other thing he mentioned, based on individual participation in the project, in the task. Even before the housemate had been buzzed in to perform, Big Brother had mentioned during his opening speech that they would be scored specifically above every other thing by how the housemates were able to work together as a team to achieve their performance. And so Big Brother was really pissed. He was really mad at the fact that Ricky and Tram defied his orders, defied his instructions, and did not join in the presentation. And then he had called on Ricky to state his reasons why he had not joined the presentation. And ladies and gentlemen, suddenly, Ricky became a coward because this is somebody that had been saying in the house that, oh, I'm not going to do it and there's nothing anybody can do about it. And I'm going to do this and there's nothing anybody can tell me what to do about it. I'm not going to do this. All the hour, I'm not going to do it. Nothing anybody can tell me. When Big Brother asked him to talk, I was expecting him to say, Big Brother, there's nothing you can do about it. But no, I got coward. And then he will say, I was not in agreement. I believe it is in my right to refuse a role that I am given. Big Brother said, says who? Says who? Obviously, Ricky had no answer to that question. Obviously, also, that was possibly a rhetorical question. And I mean, obviously. And Ricky had no answer to that question. And obviously, of course, it was a rhetorical question. And was just going on and on and on and on, trying to make excuses for himself. Then Big Brother moved on to Tram. And that one too chickened out. Because that one too was a lot of people saying that, oh, I'm not going to do this and nobody can do anything about it. And his excuse was quite similar to Ricky's excuse. Said they had given him a role, I think to play chicken or something. He did not want to play the role. He said he wanted them to find another role for him. And he attended the rehearsals, but then he just did not want the role. And so he decided not to be a part of the performance. And ladies and gentlemen, I looked at those two guys and all I could see was influence from Ricky to Tram. Tram has this idolization thing for Ricky. He's always saying that Ricky is like the older version of himself, you know, that he sees himself in Ricky. He admires Ricky so much. You see that aura thingy, that so-called steez bullshit. He idolizes Ricky. That's all I see. So it was very obvious that Tram would have been a part of that performance. But because Ricky was putting up an act, he decided to show his loyalty to Ricky. Also because looking at the fact that this week, Sheba had hurt his feelings, and Ricky had been that one person that had shown that he could totally relate to how hurt he was, you know, and Ricky had sort of given him that emotional support that he needed and giving him the listening ears and the right reactions to buffer his feelings and his hurt and his rants. He decided to stand by Ricky in Ricky's revolt, and that was exactly what both of them had done. But you see, whilst those two people were just going on and on complaining, ladies and gentlemen, I put out a tweet and I'm going to try to paraphrase what I wrote. All I could see, especially with Ricky, was a lazy man who believes that being lazy is tease, as the Gen Zs will call it. That being lazy is a beautiful aura to possess. Please, oh, ladies and gentlemen, especially you gentlemen, if you think laziness is a flex, it is not. It's very, very repulsive. Especially for someone like me as a woman, when I see men who do that lazy thing, just lay about, to just sit around and wait for the woman to pull all the weight and do all the work, do all the heavy lifting, I'm very, very irritated. I find it very repulsive. Very, very repulsive. Because what makes you think it's cute? What makes you think it's rah? What makes you think it's sexy? No, it's repulsive. Oh my God. Anyways, obviously, at that point in time, Big Brother was so upset. Like, Big Brother was really aggravated. And then he had some words for Ricky and Tram and the housemates. In fact, he did not even waste time. Immediately, they could finish giving their flimsy excuses. He declared that the housemates had lost their wager. And then he said to Tram and Ricky that the loss of the house is not a victory for them. So he's holding both of them specifically accountable for the loss of that wager. And then he went on and on to talk about how there are housemates who have been on the trend of disrespecting Big Brother, of being rude to Big Brother, of disregarding Big Brother's rules and instructions, that they should not think that they have escaped or they have gone scot-free, that the hammer of retribution is coming very soon. Yeah, he mentioned that Ricky has joined, as in Ricky and Tram, they have also just recently joined that trend of disrespecting Big Brother and disregarding Big Brother's rules. So he said all he had to say, And ladies and gentlemen, as Big Brother was speaking, I just literally put out a tweet. I said, Big Brother, please, just go and sit down, I beg. Sit this one out, Oga, you're pissing me the hell off. Sit down. Let me hear what. Hey, the hammer of retribution. The hammer of retribution. The thing that you have gone scot-free. Oga, go and sit down. There's nothing you can do. It's not like there's nothing you can do or you can't do or whatever, but you ain't gonna do shit. That's it. It's just like a parent, watching their toddler being very naughty, and they keep on telling the toddler, I'll beat you. Oh, I'll punish you. The toddler continues to do the same thing that you keep on warning them about. And you keep on saying, I'll beat you. You don't used to hear what. And the toddler, seeing that all you're doing is warning, you ain't particularly meting out any punishment or any actions, they will just continue doing what they are doing because they know that you ain't gonna do shit. They know that you don't have the balls or the spine to do anything. Ladies and gentlemen, listening to Big Brother warning the housemate again for the 100th time this season, that was exactly what I saw. A spineless parent, a ballless parent, who can only reprimand, caution, warn, but they cannot do shit. What is the point of the cautioning? And you want to come and act as if they are hurting your feelings. You want to come and act as if they're defying you. Big Brother production, they will continue to shit on you people's parade. They will continue to mess you people up because you people this season, you have really fallen below standard. And you deserve everything you're getting from the housemate. If it is not planned work, of course. If these housemates are not working on a special instruction to be as recalcitrant as they've been this entire season, then production, you people deserve 100% over all what these housemates are doing. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you can look at this season and classify it as one of the worst seasons ever. In terms of production not standing on business, on the extent to which housemates can display their rudeness and disrespect for authority on live TV. Very, very disgusting display. Very disgusting. So Big Brother yapping and warning and cautioning and even promising punishments. It was comic relief for me. I was enjoying the entertainment. I was laughing my head off. Ultimately, I put it to you that Biggie ain't gonna do shit. And if I thought he's gonna do anything, it's probably gonna be one very nonsensical, flimsy punishment like, oh, sweep the floor, oh, nye, 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 oh, nye, nye, nye. Nobody is gonna catch a strike. Nobody. And you know why? Because they are afraid of losing their share, of losing their traffic, of losing their engagement. So they will not do the needful. Oh, and remember, if they're going to start punishing people, they have to start with their favorite first. They have to start with that one. And then they will now move on to Bells. And then they will now move on to Yusuf. And then they will now move on to Tram and Ricky. Yep. The line is quite long. And it's even getting longer. So they know that they're going to met out a very serious punishment. They will have to touch their favorite, who is basically untouchable at this point. So they ain't gonna do shit. Because they know that if they have to do shit, they will have to touch their favorite. So because of that, they will rather cut their balls and swallow it than do the right thing. However way it goes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna be here, cruising to the entertainment. Because I love it now when these housemates drive Big Brother crazy. I love it. It is entertainment for me. Yup. Anyways, that was that for the arena. And ladies and gentlemen, another very funny part was Big Brother, in his usual manner, did not even bother telling the housemates, you may now leave the arena. He did not. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that was that. And you know, another hilarious part for me was Big Brother not officially dismissing the housemates. You know, normally he would tell them, oh, you may now leave the arena and go and enjoy your Thursday night pool party. He didn't say any of that. He just kept mute. And the housemates sat down there waiting. So we had to take the ninja to, you know, instruct the housemates to leave the arena. And it was from that moment that Big Brother started giving the housemates the silent treatment. I don't know if it's a deliberate silent treatment though, or whether Big Brother decided to go on a brief vacation, because obviously it's clear that they've messed up with his mental health. So whether he took a voluntary exit, no, we've been joking around that Big Brother is going to take voluntary exit. Maybe they took his voluntary exit. Maybe he took his voluntary exit, or maybe they seized his voice. I don't know. Or maybe Big Brother decided to resign, and maybe they are looking for another person to replace Big Brother. Me, I don't know. But Big Brother ceased talking. We did not hear Big Brother's voice again for the rest of the night. As a matter of fact, Biggie started using ninjas to come and pass on announcements to the housemates. When he wanted to tell them to come and take call the head of house to the diary room, he sent a ninja. When he wanted to inform the housemates they have 1 hour to the pool party, he sent a ninja. Oh, housemates, check that you're wearing your microphone. People that did not announce it, he had to send a ninja with a paper. Housemates, check that you're wearing your microphone. I was like, what is this? What's this? It was funny to me, frankly speaking. It was just funny and totally ridiculous. Because I'm like, Biggie, are you sulking? Do you want us to come and tell you sorry? Do you want us to come and give you a pat on the head and tell you, oh, my love, don't worry, it's going to be fine? Like, what exactly do you want? You want us to come and baby you? My bro, get up and get back to your job. All this one, like, what the hell? And you see, the housemates knew that Big Brother was upset with them. But guess what? They just did not care. And they were not even remorseful at all. Because guess what? Even in Big Brother's silence, they were still breaking rules. Still breaking rules. The housemates were still breaking rules. And one of such rules was, aside not wearing their mic when they were speaking to one another, there was a part of, remember the ongoing game where predators and prey are not supposed to fraternize. They were breaking those rules. They knew they were breaking the rules. And guess who was breaking the rules again? The favorite, the perpetual rule breaker. And then after the pool party, Sheba was now telling Chimsom that, oh, they need to compose a song, like an apology song for Big Brother, that, Big Brother is very angry with them. Oh. And Chimsom told her that it's not about composing apology music. Question is it going to be met with changed behavior? Are we going to stop doing what we're doing? Because the truth is, people just do whatever they want to do because they know that nothing is going to happen. And you see, whilst we're having that conversation, Perpetual rule breaker was there. She knew that they were also referring to her, but she stood there. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, via the Aquafina task, it was discovered that perpetual rule breaker is not necessarily bipolar. That is a strategy. She came to the house, you know, fully prepared to break rules and to be defiant. And that is her gameplay. And she's reveling in it because there's been no consequences so far. So she believes that she's actually playing a great game. Because she gave a shout out to her sister saying that, oh, she knows her sister is going to be wondering why is she being so stubborn and naughty and whatever. But anyways, that's on the side. So Sheba was insisting that Chimsom should call for a general house meeting where they get to attend to all of these matters, you know, and then they should apologize to Big Brother. And he said, well, now, at that point in time, half the house was tipsy. So it would be something that they would do in the morning. So ladies and gentlemen, we will see how that meeting goes. If some people with coconut heads will actually listen and understand the gravity of the situation, because as at last night, they did not care. They were just going about their business. They were doing whatever they wanted to do. They went to the pool party, had a blast, came back to the house. They were still breaking rules and breaking rules and breaking rules. So ladies and gentlemen, whatever it is, for me, the highlight for me was seeing these housemates disrespect Big Brother again. I loved it. I enjoyed it. And I really wish that they continue. I don't want them to change. I want them to continue so that Big Brother will see something this season. Big Brother will see something this season. Anyways, that is all. There were other conversations that happened last night. Yes, I'm going to be sharing on my next video. So please watch out for that video. And I'll see you guys on that video. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day and bye.